Hello, everybody. Welcome to part 2 of today's episode. So we were just talking with our good friend Carrie with all the good football stuff that was happening on for week 14 and moving on to week 15. Now we're here to talk some basketball. Basketball season will be starting on December 22nd. So just for a few key dates here. So right now the preseason is going on. It goes on from the December 11th to December 19th. The season will start on December 22nd. The first half of the season will be going until March 4th, because March 5th to March 10th, we will have an all-star break. And then they will finish off the season until May 16th. There will be a quick play-in tournament like they did last year with the bubble on May 18th to 21st, and then the playoffs will take place in the summer from May 22nd to July 22nd. Now, some important games here. For opening night, we have the Warriors versus the Nets, and the Clippers versus the Lakers. Should be fun games. We're going to go over all the team stuff in a minute. Just want to talk about all the good stuff. We'll just talk about the big matchups here. Christmas Day, we got Pelicans versus Heat. We got Warriors versus Bucks. We got Nets versus Celtics, Mavs versus Lakers, and Clippers versus Nuggets. Should be some fun games to watch into. So why don't we go into real quick. Let's talk about each team, some big key additions, key losses, and some good stuff here that could happen, and see what happens to them. The dog is bothering me, so don't mind the little wrangling you'll hear from her tags, but let's just talk about it real quick. So we'll start on the east side of things. We have the Celtics. They lose Gordon Hayward and add Tristan Thompson. Now, this move is, I don't know how I feel about it. Gordon Hayward does get hurt a lot. He's definitely lost some talent that he was back on his Jazz days. But with that, though, you still lose a good player. He had the knowledge. He was a very good veteran to have. You bring in Tristan Thompson, who's got good playoff experience. Is he going to mesh well with the chemistry that they were building after Kyrie left? Now, the Celtics are looking to make the next step. They have to get over the hump. They cannot afford to have another playoff exit like they just did. They need to move on and get that championship W. When it comes to the Nets now, we're back at full health with them. Kyrie is back. We've got KD, he's back. DeAndre Jordan, he's back. I watched some early playoff basketball with the Nets. They seem to be doing all right. The KD doesn't look like he's lost a step, but let's see what he can do. It's a shortened season, so that should be in his favor. They do also keep their core intact that got them to the playoffs where they were. So we got to see what they can do with that core playoff team, though. We got to see what happens, because unfortunately we got to see what they can do. Now the Knicks, Obi Toppin was drafted, and that really was the big move for them. With James Dolan still there, it's not going to be anything good. So with that, though, will Obi Toppin be enough to, make some sort of competitive move there? I don't think so. The Knicks are still kind of bad. Mitchell Robinson was really their only good player. They're trying to stick with Ntilikina, and they're trying to, Kevin Knox, Dennis Smith Jr. Tom Thibodeau is going to come in, and he's going to have a bit of a challenge here ahead of him with the Knicks. 76ers, they had the most moves, I feel like, and they are the favorite to get James Harden from the Rockets. So they add Dwight Howard to get a nice backup center for Al Horford. They get Seth Curry, which is some good shooting since Ben Simmons can't do that. And the big thing is they fired Brett Brown after their playoff bubble loss in the playoffs, and they bring in Doc Rivers, who got dismissed from the Clippers. Now, the big thing, though, with Doc Rivers is he's a bit of a choke job when it comes to him as a coach. So I don't know how I feel about him coming in to lead the 76ers, who's trying to fix whatever's going on here. Yeah, the process is probably dead at this point. It died with Elton Brand coming in, but it went in the grave as soon as that first-round exit with Brett Brown. So we're going to see what Doc Rivers can do. The process is now officially over, so we're going to see what happens. The Raptors, they had an upsetting loss to the Celtics in that, bubble. They lose Marc Gasol, but they paid Fred VanVleet very big money. So that's a bit of a loss there. They lose another piece of the core. First you lose Kawhi, now you're losing Marc Gasol. That's huge. Marc Gasol was a great defensive player. He's a big center presence, and losing him is going to be huge. The Bulls, they really keep their core. They drafted someone. They have a new coach in Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan is not a great coach, though. He's not really what you want. And he wasn't really that great with the Thunder. So to have him come in to be with the Bulls, a young Bulls team, I don't know how I feel about that. That might be rough for them. The Cavs, they get JaVale McGee. That's really it. They lost Tristan Thompson. So they replace him with JaVale McGee. Is that good? Is that bad? They're a team. They're a team, all right. They lost LeBron. Kevin Love's still there. He's making money. I don't know what else to say about them. They're kind of rough. The Pistons, the only real notable thing I had about them was they added LiAngelo Ball, but at the time of doing this, they released LiAngelo Ball. Don't even give him a chance to play in a real NBA game. They got rid of him. Why bring him in then? What was the point of that, Detroit? There was nothing you could have lost from that, but whatever. You did it. The Pacers, Victor Oladipo was still mad at them. They lost Nick McMillan. They brought in some new coach. I can't figure it out, but they got what they got. Not the Buccaneers. The Milwaukee Bucks just signed Giannis to a 5-year deal, so he ain't going nowhere. But with that, they are going. All right, they are going to. They're looking to make a finals run. They are looking to make a finals run. They have to do something. This is ridiculous. The Hawks, they added Danilo and Bogdan. They lose Vince Carter. He retired. This Hawks team, you know what? Trae Young, he's looking pretty good. Hopefully he can do the same magic that Luka's doing, and maybe they make a playoff run. It would be nice to see the Hawks do something, With Atlanta sports teams, struggling, the Braves really struggle. Last year, the playoffs, the Falcons look like crap. I'm wearing my Falcons apparel if you're watching on YouTube. But I'm not going to lose my support for Atlanta teams. I like them. I honestly, I was a Nets fan, but I don't like these moves, so I'm gonna kind of lean away from them. But yeah, so the Hawks are looking to make some moves here. The Hornets, they drafted LaMelo Ball. They're taking the chance. I'm shocked Michael Jordan wanted to do that, but he did it. They added him, and they got him Gordon Hayward. So they're saying that could be a good 1-2 punch. I don't know what I feel about that. Gordon Hayward, not really. I don't know if he's going to be a good compliment for him, because he's definitely lost the step since coming in. Since leaving the Utah Jazz. I feel like he was much better on the Jazz than he was with the Celtics, or even with what he might be with the Hornets here. The Miami Heat, they got Avery Bradley, but they need to make a deep playoff run. Actually, I think they had Avery Bradley for the finals run they made, but he could have he could have probably he would have gotten a ring anyway. It wouldn't have mattered, Avery Bradley. So he got his ring, but so they need to make another deep playoff run. They got some. They still have their players. They have Bam. I think they still have Goran. I didn't really see much about him. I know they were saying that he might be gone, but he's still there. So they still have their same team, so they could easily do well. The Magic, they drafted Cole Anthony. The Magic are still kind of, I think, teetering around that line of mediocrity. They're not really great, but they're not good. That's a problem for them. That is a huge problem for the Magic. You cannot teeter around that line because you're not going to get good draft picks, but you're also not going to make any playoff runs. So they got to figure out something. They need to get some players. You're wasting Vucevic here. The Wizards, they traded John Wall for Russell Westbrook. They drafted Denny, and they got Robin Lopez. Now, this Wizards team, with Russell Westbrook, I think this team can make the playoffs. John Wall, unfortunately, was way too injury-prone. He throws his body on the line way too much, and I think that was damaging this Wizards team way too much. So to have someone as consistent as Russell, because he doesn't get as hurt as much as John Wall, I think that's going to be a great move for this team here. I think it's going to be great for the Wizards to do that. I think this is a great move for them. They'll make them a little more competitive in the West, and we can hopefully have them do something nice. Western side of things, the Nuggets, they keep the same core, and Jamal Murray is making the next steps. He's going to be a huge star in this league. Now, what does that mean for the Nuggets, though? They need to get over the hump called the Lakers and the Warriors. They made it to the conference finals last year and lost to the Lakers. Yes, I get the Lakers are a good team with that 1-2 punch of LeBron and AD, but that's something huge. You have Jokic, you have Jamal Murray. Bol is a young guy who can grow to be a great player in this league. You have these players. Michael Porter Jr., I'm sorry, that was the name I was looking for. He is a guy that can make big things going on here. Now, in terms of the Nuggets making it that far, unfortunately, with the Warriors getting back to health, not full health, we'll talk about them later, but they're getting back to health. You have the Clippers, who are, they lost some talent, but they are still a strong and dangerous team. Can they beat them again? Maybe. The Jazz, still also a great team. And also they have the Mavericks to worry about. There's a lot to worry about in this Western Conference. So the Nuggets need to, they really need to show why they're the dominant force in this Western Conference now. Timberwolves, they drafted Anthony Edwards. What they need to do, though, is they need to make the playoffs. There's no reason now. You have Karl Anthony Towns. He was a first-round pick. You had Andrew Wiggins. He was a first-round pick. D'Angelo Russell. How many first-round picks can you use in the lottery to not get you results anymore? There's no more excuses. You need to make the playoffs. You made it once with Jimmy Butler. You were a 3 seed with him. He got hurt. You guys dropped hard. There's no reason why you should not be a playoff team at this point. Jimmy Butler was not that team. You know what? You had to get there. Thunder, they are full rebuild. They lose Dennis Schroeder. They traded CP3. They traded Steven Adams. They're all in on rebuild mode now. There's no playoffs for them this year. Rebuilding. Trailblazers and Jazz, I'm going to lump them together in this one because the real thing is they kept everything. Jazz still have Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. Trailblazers still have Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum and Carmelo Anthony. There is no reason why they should be teetering around anymore. They need to get to the next round. Second round for them is where I'm putting them. They need to get there. There's no reason why you're not there. Look, you're playing a tough Western Conference. Yeah, that's great. But with that said, you are still a good team. You have the chemistry. You have some good players. No reason. All right, the Warriors. Steph Curry's back. Draymond's back. You draft a big man in James Wiseman. Yes, you just lost Klay Thompson again. That's rough. Yeah, that's great. But you're still going to be... This Western Conference Finals is probably going to be Warriors-Lakers. And that's going to come down to Game 7 most likely. That's what I'm thinking. That's what it's going to be. Steph Curry knows how to carry a team. You know what? James Wiseman, he's going to be a great rookie for them. He could easily be Western Conference Rookie of the Year. It's going to be between him and Anthony Edwards probably. I think that's going to be a great rookie of the race battle. Maybe as good as Donovan Mitchell and Ben Simmons. That's who it was. I think that's going to be a good race. Now, with that, though, you're still losing Klay Thompson. You bring in Kelly Oubre Jr. to be Klay Thompson. That's not Klay Thompson. It's a substitute. So with that substitute, he's got big shoes to fill. Honestly, the Warriors are championship or nothing at this point. Clippers are the same thing. You know, Paul George and Kawhi. Yeah, you lose Montrezl Harrell, but you still have 6-man Lou Will. Yes, you know what? That's great. That's a real hard hit though. You lose Montrezl Harrell, who was also 6-man of the year. Like that is rough. That's rough to see. I'm sorry to say. So hopefully they can figure it out. But the Clippers also have new coach Ty Lue. I don't like that hire. I thought Ty Lue was a product of LeBron, and now he's going to be a product of Doc Rivers. Like I think he's going to be the same thing with what they had. Like so, unfortunately, I don't think that was a good hire. I think they should have waited a bit and tried to find someone a little new. Yes, this is a kind of a rough year for them. Their offseason started like immediately, and then they had to go right back into kind of work mode because the season was right around the corner. So this Clippers team, I don't like the Ty Lue hire, but we'll see what they can do. Lakers get younger. Montrezl Harrell, Dennis Schroeder, Marc Gasol still a little old, but you still got those 3 guys. That's a huge upgrade. Yeah, you lose Dwight. You lose DeMarcus Cousins, who didn't do anything for you. You lose JaVale. You lose Rondo, because Rondo's gone too. So you lose the guys that help you win, but you get younger. And LeBron and AD both signed some contracts here. So you're keeping this core for a while. So this Lakers team could easily become a dynasty right now. But the dynasty is honestly going to be because of LeBron and AD. It's nothing else. So if you keep good pieces around, like Montrezl, I think it's a 2-year deal. Dennis Schroeder's on a Thunder deal, and Marc Gasol's on a 2-year. So 2 years of solid play from those guys. But this Lakers team is going to be sticking around for a while. Suns get CP3 now. I don't care what they do. Playoffs. That is their goal right now. They need to make the playoffs. I don't care what else it is. Playoffs for this team. The Suns team has no excuses. They better be in the. Well, they're in a tough Western Conference. I get that, but they were close to the playoffs. They better be in the playoffs. The Kings are also close. I don't really expect much. Unfortunately, their GM Divac is not a great GM. Their coach ain't so great, but you know what? They're still young. They're developing. We'll see what happens. Mavericks, they're a young team. They're pretty young. Luka and Kristaps are pretty good together. So it's going to be interesting to see what those guys can do. It's going to be a rough outing for them. But we'll see what they can do. Luka has shown that he was able to carry a team to the playoffs. Grizzlies, Ja Morant, definitely going to have to step up next year. He was Rookie of the Year. Hopefully he doesn't hit a sophomore slump because the Grizzlies will really need him back. Pelicans, Zion, also same thing. Hopefully he's not, sophomore slump. Hopefully he can go through. And they have a young team. But, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, still building that chemistry. That's going to be rough, too. Like, you know what? They still have to figure that out. They bring in Steven Adams to be another big man for him, so that's pretty good. And the Spurs is where we're going to end things off with the teams here. The Spurs, they're declining. They're heading towards rebuild. They're probably not going to be here for a bit. They're going to be in full rebuild. So that's going to be rough. Now, my playoff picture, I think the Lakers are going to be 1, Warriors are going to be 2. I think the Nuggets will be 3, Clippers will be 4, the Jazz will be 5, Trailblazers will be probably around the 6, 7 will probably not be Thunder. The Timberwolves need to be the 8. I think the Suns might be the 8. Actually, I did tweet. Hold on. Let me pull up my Twitter real quick. I remember writing it down. I don't remember what my actual picks were because now I'm just kind of speaking out randomly. So hold on. Let me see here. But, it should be an interesting season. It's going to be rough with... They don't have... All right, here we go. So I'll have that up. But unfortunately, it's going to be a little rough with the shortened season. But all right, we'll start with the Eastern side. I think the Heat are going to be the 1 seed. Bucks will be 2. Nets are going to be the 3 seed. Celtics will be 4. Raptors 5. Pacers 6. 76ers will be in the 7 seed. And Wizards will be 8. That is my Eastern side. I think that's... If we have to go team by team, I think the Heat just have better chemistry than the Bucks right now. The Bucks lost a lot of pieces. The Bucks are going to be a little rough. But Giannis had a 5-year supermax deal for $228 million, so he's sticking around. But I think the Bucks are going to be better. I'm going to have to check something out real quick while we're on this. Hold on. I think they're a joke here. I really gonna have to look into that. Oh, let me go back. All right. So the Buccaneers, sorry, they were saying Harden to the Heat, so I'm gonna look into that later. Heat, number 1, especially if Harden goes there now, definitely number 1. But before Harden pick, I think they have better team chemistry, better players. Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, and Kendrick Nunn. I think that's going to be a dangerous quadfecta right there. Bucks will be number 2 because Giannis is Giannis still, but that's all it is just Giannis. Nets will be 3 because KD and Kyrie, they're still kind of coming back, but they'll figure out how to get their chemistry issues together late in the season. I think that's going to be really good. The Raptors, yes, they lose Marc Gasol, but they still have great chemistry with everyone around there. The Pacers 6 because they seem to make the playoffs no matter what happens, but they're definitely not making it out of the first round. The 76ers will be 7. You know what? Doc Rivers knows how to get to playoffs, and that's really it. And the Wizards are 8 because I think Russell Westbrook can actually carry that team, especially with Bradley Beal being a number 2 guy. Now, when it comes to the Eastern Conference, I think the Heat will take out the Wizards. I think the Bucks will take out the Sixers. I think the Nets will take out the Pacers, and I think the Raptors will actually take out the Celtics. So that'll leave you with the Heat and Raptors in their second round, and Bucks and Net. I think the Heat will take out the Nets. The Heat will take out the Raptors in their second round, and the Nets will take out the Bucks. And then for the conference finals, I think the Nets will win that to be the Eastern Conference champions. So Nets will be in the finals. Now, who do they take on? This is where we get a little interesting. The Lakers, I think, will be the 1 seed. Nuggets will be 2. Clippers will be 3. Warriors will be 4. Mavericks 5. Grizzlies 6. Rockets 8. Sorry, I skipped the Suns. Suns 7. Now, Lakers are the 1 seed because we know what they can do. They did it last year. They can do it again. The Nuggets, they are showing that they are the team of the future here. Jamal Murray, Jokic, Michael Porter, Bol, they're going to be dangerous. That is a dangerous team right here. Kawhi and Paul George will make the 3 seed. Ty Lue will get them there, but I don't know how far they will get them. Warriors are going to be dangerous again. They're getting healthy again. They're going to be back. Mavericks, Luka, Kristaps, they got here before. They can do it again as well. Ja Morant, I think he's going to get over the hump and make the playoffs. The Suns, they trade for CP3, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. That's a dangerous trio right there. They can get things done. And the Rockets, if they keep James Harden, will be that 8th seed with John Wall. Now, the way I see it, the Lakers will beat the Rockets, not Rockers. They'll beat the Rockets. Nuggets will take down the Suns. Clippers will take down the Grizzlies. And the Warriors will take down the Mavericks. Now, this is where it's going to get a little interesting. We're going to have Lakers, Warriors, and Clippers, Nuggets. Now, the Nuggets beat the Clippers, and I think they'll do it again in 7. Not 3-1, but I think the Nuggets will take down the Clippers. And I think the Lakers will take down the Warriors to have a rematch of the Western Conference Finals, being the Lakers and Nuggets, and the Lakers will get it done again. And my finals prediction is Lakers Nets. I was about to say Lakers Heat. Lakers Nets. And I think that, you know what? I think the Lakers are going to take that in 6. I think the LeBron's going to get over one on Kyrie. KD is going to lose. I think Anthony Davis. Because, you know what? LeBron can take on Kyrie. AD can take on KD. And I think the Lakers have a better team around them than the Nets. So with that, though. So some quick news here that happened between all this stuff. So Giannis did sign a 5-year deal for 5-year deal for $228 million supermax extension with the Bucks. So he's not going anywhere. We did hear a lot of word that the Heat were going to be trying to get him next year. Now I'm trying to look to see what's going on here. So it looks like James Harden. It's trending on Twitter as we're recording. James Harden, it says, got traded to the Heat, but I don't know how much that's really going to be. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure this out. Like, they're saying it might have happened, but I don't see anything going there yet. But it seems like the Heat have just become the number 1 team to get James Harden. Like, this is really becoming an interesting conversation of where he's going, because he was supposed to be going to the Sixers. Now they're saying he was supposed to go to the Heat. I'm a little confused what's going on here. So I'm a little concerned what's going on. I don't know. Now I got Harden to the Heat, please. So we're still not 100% sure what the deal is here. Yeah, they're calling it politics too, so that's a little weird. But we have no real word on what's going on with that. So it'll be interesting to see. So with that, though, the NBA season does start again next Tuesday, so I wanted to get this special out now. With that, though, so it's going to be an interesting year. It's going to be shortened. They're trying to get some fans, not a lot. No bubble yet, so they're going to be playing in their home stadium. So this is going to take a weird turn. Honestly, I think COVID's going to take a huge hit on these teams, for coming forward. I think that's what's going to happen here. So honestly, it's just you're going to have to see what happens. Like, teams are going to have to make quick decisions on what they can do. And, we're going to see, the NBA let people out, not NFL said, if you don't feel comfortable playing, don't play. Is the NBA going to do the same thing, or is everyone just going to have to play? So I don't know what they're going to do here with it. So we'll have to find out. Besides that, so I hope you enjoyed this 2-part. The football one is going to be much longer than the basketball one. If you have any other basketball takes you want to talk about, please feel free to reach out to us on Twitter, on Instagram. We do streams on Twitch. We do what we can. We try to get out there with all the sports. Now, with that, make sure to enjoy your day. Enjoy the sports. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And let's enjoy a nice basketball season.